Hello. Whoa. What happened to my voice there? Hello. Hello. And welcome to a very special time of the year, as evidenced by our decorations.
Well, we're getting ready. Here's the thing. You're watching this in November. It's coming out in November. We're gearing up for our big Thanksgiving special that we do every year.
Yeah.
With our character, Gibby, the Thanksgiving ghoul.
And once we pick just the right leaves,
Yes.
we'll be ready.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
we collect all these leaves, we
Yes.
dump them out on the table,
And then
we'll record an episode or an intro to an episode as quickly as possible
Yeah.
so we can get to the real issue,
Yes.
the leaves.
Which leaves?
Yeah.
Right, we'll pick one, like, no, it's a little funky on the left here,
Yeah.
and then that goes away.
Yeah.
And you're only left with the very perfect leaves,
That's
just
right.
for you, because we care so much about you.
It's wonderful. So right now, you're going to be checking out an episode that we did with my good buddy, Brian Ruppert. Really fun episode. Went
Or you
crazy.
hated this leaf talk and turned it off already.
But we wanted to let you know, if you're enjoying the podcast, if you're enjoying the TESD Town Takeover, please subscribe to the podcast or write a review on iTunes. We really, really appreciate that. It helps out. And we wanted to say, if you like this episode, you might want to check out our episode, We Pitch You a Merry Christmas Too.
Yes.
Because Ruppert was the first time he was on Funbearable around Christmas 2023. We had a great time with him. And some other fun episodes to check out for you might be, I work on the podcast Tuesdays with Stories with Mark Normand and Joe List. And Ruppert is actually the guy that fills in for me when I can't be there for whatever reason. Mark Normand has been on. That was one of the, I think it was episode 2 of the podcast.
Yeah.
Joe List was on early on. It might have been around episode 11. But if you're interested in either Mark Normand or Joe List hanging out with the three of us, go check those out. They're in the feed. They're in the YouTube feed. They're in the audio feed. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
But right now, check out the first of a big, nice two-parter with Brian Ruppert.
A really fun, enjoyable thing. Like
I love
of,
this
lots
one.
of fun. This is one of my faves.
We
in
laughed.
terms of like having guests.
I
don't want to
completely
be
agree.
biased.
I'll say you watch my enjoyment level fade through the 2 episodes.
And that is one of those situations where you see that meter drop. It means it's good. That's
Yeah.
a good thing.
That's
You know
correct.
what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
We really, in terms of having guests, and we've had a lot of great guests, this was one of the most fun guest episodes I think we've
Yeah,
done, if
absolutely.
not the most fun.
Yeah.
It was great. So I really think everyone's going to get a lot of laughs and enjoy our time with my buddy Brian Ruppert.
Our buddy.
Our buddy.
Chuck's buddy.
Jesus Christ.
My buddy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Funbearable. I am Brad Rohr.
I am Ray. We have something to discuss, but I'll get to that in a moment. Harrington.
I'm Chuck Staten, and with us today, our good buddy from Reviewing History from the world of Tell 'em Steve Dave, Brian Ruppert.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? How are we?
Second appearance.
Yeah, I'm happy.
And
Welcome back.
It's for a very specific reason, which we're going to get into. What were you going to say, Ray?
Well, it's also fun because you were on the podcast in our podcasting space.
Yes.
Yeah,
At
that's
the
right.
Comedy Connection, and now you're here on the podcast again in your podcasting space. That is the TESD podcasting space, right?
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
So you get the idea of feeling like subletters that we have.
Yeah,
Because we get the subletter feeling in the Rhode Island Comedy Connection in the basement. That podcast studio is not a podcast studio. It's
Right.
the owner has a
Card break.
NFL card thing where they do it and then they show and then everybody goes, "Ooh, look at the that's Drew Bledsoe."
I think it's expanded beyond NFL, right? Disney cards are in there.
Yeah, there's a bunch
Oh,
of
those
cards
Lorcana or whatever it
Oh,
is, like
boy.
which are like a big deal. I don't know anything about it.
The Pokemon.
He said I
Magic.
think Corey said like there's like different cards will just catch fire and be super popular for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think I know there's
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Disney ones. Yeah, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh. I thought that was a guy.
Yeah, so but
not.
they're nice enough to let us use that space as our podcast studio, which is really wonderful. And that's a nice like connection to stand-up comedy and all that stuff. But then you do your podcast reviewing history here
Yeah.
at the Tell 'em
I'm on
Steve
home
Dave
turf.
Studios, right? But this is still a sublet, right?
Oh, definitely.
This is not the reviewing history room,
No.
right? So you feel that feeling. You ever want to just fuck it up?
I spend so much time here that like
Yeah.
I kind of do feel like I'm home here, and it is like it's almost like another room in my house because I'm so close.
Yeah, he lives like
I
two
live
streets
down the
that way.
block, so
Okay,
it's like
yeah.
I will say
it's nice to get here. A lot better than when I had to drive to Rhode Island to do your show.
That's fair. But at least when you got to Rhode Island, you weren't in New Jersey. So that's like a positive.
I will say I do feel like this whole like Tell 'em Steve Dave studio.
Yeah.
when we moved in, it was a place for Tell 'em Steve Dave, but it has expanded for a place for like the whole crew to be creative in whatever direction.
And get him to live.
And for get him to live here. Yeah, exactly. No, it really does feel like that. I was actually thinking about that earlier today, where it's just like Walt from Tell 'em Steve Dave asked Funbearable to come be on Tell 'em Steve Dave's game night show.
Yes.
And I was like, is it cool if we just take over the studio Monday and Tuesday? And he's like, yeah, of course.
We had
And,
AK-47. We came in. We were very much Somali pirate. We were the Somali pirates of podcasting.
Look at
but
us, we the podcast.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that. I do feel like it's kind of like, you know, with obviously the permission from Walt or whatever, it's like, it does seem like a place where we can kind of just do anything. If I'm like, hey, me and Ruppert are going to make a full movie using the green screen, he'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
Just don't do it at this time. I have to use it for something. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like it's thinking about the today and everything we're doing today and tomorrow. I kind of feel very lucky to be involved at this comfortable level. I really feel like that.
I thank them at the end of every show just
we
because
thanked him today too. Yeah.
It's such a great space, and
it is.
to be able to do it and kind of like leech on them a bit is very helpful and nice.
It's great. It's great.
Gotta be honest.
Coattails all the way down.
Well, when I was first on Tell 'em Steve Dave, like there was a joke at the beginning of Tell 'em Steve Dave that I think Brian wanted to call the show Tales of the Coat, like Walt and Brian were riding Kevin Smith's coattails.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was first on it, there was a Reddit comment that was like, what is Chuck's podcast going to be? Tales of the Coat, of the coat?
Someone made the same fucking
funny.
joke about me.
Really?
Yeah.
Double joke.
I wonder if it was the same guy, and that's like his go-to, like,
He waits till anyone's on it?
yeah.
That's hilarious. I love that.
But I mean, I don't want to be. It was me. I was trying to sugarcoat it.
You were
It was
working
me.
material.
Yeah. I did it once with Chuck, and then I was like, let me hone it, and then economy of words. It really just came down to the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. He changed the period to an exclamation point.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Medically.
what did you want to talk about during the beginning of the show?
Oh, listen, I don't want to bring up bad blood.
Like
But
Taylor Swift
but
song.
blood has been spilled, and I tested it at a lab, and it's bad.
Like the thing?
Blood is bad. Yeah. Oh yeah. I held a flame to it, and it went. It shrieked out at me. It jumped.
Oh boy.
I probably shouldn't bring it up on the podcast, but I want to because I want it publicly known that Brad, I was not trying to insult you in any way.
It's okay.
At dinner.
It's fine.
I made what I thought was a passing goof, the same way I would make a goof about Charles being too sexually forward with a waiter or waitress.
Mm-hmm. Those aren't
kind of
usually
that.
passing. He like lives there.
And Passing Goof, that's the sequel to the third Goofy movie, right?
Yeah. That's after Goofy the father dies.
So sad.
Yeah, it is.
It's
honestly, it's. You know the part where the mom dies in What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah.
Imagine that for 2 hours and it's animated, and every once in a while you hear it's so sad. Yeah, that's the sound they made when they put him in the crematorium. It was so sad. Oh, and then they're dumping the ashes. And it's like
shenanigans
borscht.
ensue, though. Like
That is true. That is
even
true.
in death.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. I just wanted to,
No worries.
because I feel like you're mad, and this is a first. I think this is a first for the podcast, on mic and off.
That you've apologized for insulting one of us?
No, that's not. Don't besmirch me. No, that I felt like a thing with Bradrick over there.
I think it's just been honestly the past year and a half of my life, but really like who you are is wrong. How you act is wrong. That's the message I've gotten from a lot of people.
Are you saying that you feel that I give you that message?
Well, like how many times in the past 24 hours is it like Chuck and Ray know the way to live?
What?
And,
I don't know the way to live.
Whoa.
It's
What do you mean?
Just in the car
That's new.
on the way down.
Yeah.
It felt like let's compare Brad's negative qualities to other people we know, and
I don't remember what conversation this was.
that's all right. I'm not going to go into it. It's fine. It's no worries. I know it's a goof. I'm overtired because I had to share a bed with Chuck last night.
Oh, there was no sleeping going
And
on.
so-
I know that. Neither for you, the noises, I'm sure.
I know.
The
here's
help.
What's funny today?
Here's the thing. I had like a chastity thing on. Still
Oh,
locked.
you can say you wear a chastity belt, but if I say it, I'm being mean.
Just worn down. It was just worn down, just friction.
Well, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, you know how
It's like arc welding happens.
you know how in T2 he turns into that liquid metal? I have that power, but only when the person I'm sleeping with had the chastity belt on.
It's just me overreacting. You did nothing wrong.
I apologize because I sincerely don't want to
No worries at all.
make you feel bad about anything because I don't feel that way about you. You
I
know what I
think
mean?
what's going to make me feel bad is Ruppert's stories about Ruppert's shenanigans.
This is all right. We'll let the viewer listener in. We tried to add a little there's tension within the trio. To add some, some mystery, some drama, so that the Funbearable fans can kind of
and the Reddit can go
talk
and
about, yeah.
I'm gonna screenshot this and I'm gonna make a thumbnail.
Right.
He hates him with an arrow.
Yeah.
Like a Reddit Ray.
Yeah.
And I'll just clip the conversation and be like, did you hear what they said there? Isn't
Right,
that crazy?
Isn't it interesting? Now look at the shot of Brad after Ray said this, because if you could see it in his face, look at his eyes, right?
I'll say this: my eyes are dead.
That's. Is that what your ophthalmologist said?
Yes.
That's why he can wear his glasses on top of his head.
Yes.
And still see through.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're just
The
decoration.
fontanelle
at this
never
point.
closed, right?
It's you know what? I'm a little pudding head.
It was just a goof because to be clear, what surprised me was I genuinely did not mean it in any bad way, and if it came across that way, I apologize.
It's you did nothing wrong.
But here's why I think I'm so bothered that you would take it that way.
Yeah.
In fact, and yes, I will accept an apology from you. So that was funny.
It was.
Is because I identify with that ism that you have.
Yeah.
I get that,
me
and I
too.
do that. And so,
Well,
I don't want you to
leaving
think
the
it's
audience in the
inappropriate.
dark. It was such a small
He
thing.
pulled his penis out and he thumped it on the table
they're gonna
and he
think-
said,
Thump is a strong word.
This sounds
Thwack.
from the way that you said the
"Oh,
thing
somebody's
about
making a toast."
from the way that you said Brad lives his life is wrong. It sounds like at the restaurant Ray was like, Brad, religion is bad, and we need to talk to you about it. But it was such a small, minor thing. It wasn't a big
wrong. The way you live is wrong.
thing. It was a small, minor thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't talking about a way that you believe in something or a strong feeling that you have. He wasn't challenging an established feeling.
No, I strongly feel that when a waitress is there to serve the table in every way, and anything I say should be considered fair game.
That sounds like a Chuck defense.
Literally for the audience, it can be boiled down to this. When we go to restaurants, sometimes Brad is like, I don't like ice. I'm from Indiana. I don't like mayonnaise. I know I'm a baby. And he kind of goes in that direction about the things that he's particular about.
They don't have ice in Indiana?
No, it's not allowed.
But he
true,
basically kind of word vomits a little bit about himself when he does that.
It's self-deprecating.
And it's self-deprecating.
Yeah.
That's 100% of what we're talking about. We're not talking about challenging Brad's beliefs.
They want me to be meaner to waitresses.
No, no.
They're like, if you want to be an alpha like us, you
I
gotta
really-
start by
I
putting
feel-
service workers in their place.
I
Chuck said, here.
Well, you have to threaten
No, that's what
suicide.
he says when he wants service. He goes, here.
Garçon means
bell.
boy.
Oh, yeah, you have that bell. I forgot. No.
So it was something small. It wasn't a big thing.
And I joked. I was just like, I don't even remember how I phrased it, but it was essentially like when the waitress came over, you were like, I'm a piece of shit, spit in my food, who cares? It was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The same way I would goof on Chuck, making a joke that's sexual
Risque.
or a risque joke. And I'm sure I have I got isms too.
Yeah.
But I identify with yours because that is a thing. I will sometimes meet people and immediately say how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
In that moment because I feel like I need to.
Because
right?
you feel like a pressure to express any anxiety or awkwardness that you feel that other people may not even feel.
Right, because I'm worried that they
filling the
can
space.
sense it. So
You're-
let me
you're
give
right.
them an example or reason why. You know what I
Yes,
mean? And
exactly.
then I screw it all up that way.
Yeah.
But again, it was not meant as a thing. I feel like a real baby bear in this situation, in Goldilocks scenario.
Yeah.
Because we've got the too far in one direction, too far in the other direction, and I'm in the middle
you're
just
just
being
right.
like.
No, that's
I just-
Goldilocks is just right. Baby Bear's not just right.
Yeah, no, the baby's porridge was just right.
Yeah,
I
and,
thought
and
that-
I thought he was
Goldilocks-
all right.
I thought I thought Goldilocks achieved that porridge by mixing Mama Bear and Baby. How did this go?
no.
Do you not know the story of Goldilocks?
So
this
Baby
makes a
Bear.
lot of sense. He really lost the plot on a lot of moral tales.
I thought Baby Bear and Goldilocks were two separate people with two separate lives doing
Well,
different
they're not
things.
two separate people. One is a person, one is a bear.
I don't understand why they want this little girl out of the house. I don't get it.
So this is she loves the porridge. She's happy with the bed. No, like I thought Mama Bear, the bed is too hot, too cold, just
No,
right.
that's the porridge. That's the
Okay,
porridge.
the
Too
bed.
hard, too soft, just right.
The bed is too hard, too soft. And so, every
Baby
time
Bear's is just right.
She's sleeping in just right. And
Yes.
the Baby
Yeah.
Bears.
Yes.
Oh.
And Baby Bear's name is just right. Yeah.
So who's Baby Bear? Me?
No, Ray just
no,
said
I-
he's baby
this-
bear.
Oh, of course
You're
he is.
too hot. I'm too cold.
Okay, so what is
Yeah.
this? What is the metaphor?
We just said it 40 times. We just said it
So
40
are you
times.
just saying he's too cold and I'm too hot?
You come on too hot to the waitress. You come on too cold to the waitress.
Oh, I
and
wasn't
I'm
hot
over
on that
here
waitress.
going, I have like a choice paralysis happening where I can't decide on a menu. Please give me a menu that has 5 things on it so I can go, I'll have that one. Great. And when we get into 20s, I'm like, I don't know what to get here.
To be clear, I was not being hot on this waitress.
She wasn't
No,
attractive
no,
enough.
no.
She's
In other situations, when you were not in a relationship.
yes, I would be flirty before. Yeah, I get it.
But
Maybe.
hot, boiling hot. This porridge was melting fingers. And I don't mean it
gonna
that
say
way. I don't mean it that way. Coming on too strong. You know what I mean? That bed is rocket. No, that doesn't work either.
Bet it's
Anyway,
rocking.
I'm glad we talked about it. I don't want you to feel in any way that was the thing. If you did, I apologize.
nothing to feel
And
about.
we
I
can
mean,
ta-
this is the last episode of the podcast.
we can talk about it
Oh,
later.
I'm on the finale?
Yeah,
we can talk
congrats.
about it later.
Yeah.
But I literally have zero idea what he means when we said he lives his life wrong in the car last night.
All right, we'll talk about
I
it
know
later.
what that's
Do you?
about. I
Yeah.
know what that's about, and it is
Really?
something. It is something to not be brought
That's
up right
fine. I
now.
won't bring it up. I don't know
Take
what it is.
Take it how you will, viewer, listener. What does that mean? Drama afoot in the Funbearable?
I thought we were just talking about
just it's about to be people.
banging small women.
Ew, no.
Wow.
Yeah, you did.
No.
We all did.
Well, they're all small
Don't
women
say
away.
we all did. That's insane. You're making the little hints and tips are making it sound like this drive down to New York was fucking insane.
It was Ray and I were discussing the book Little Women.
Yeah. Which one would you?
I'm a
which
Joe.
One marry?
Small women.
I'm a Beth.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see that.
Which one got TB? That was very funny.
So here's the reason that
to
Ruppert's
see
here.
you.
Yeah.
This is the reason Ruppert's here. I'm going to give you the.
Make-
He's
Make it.
mediating. Yeah, he's mediating this
Yeah,
situation.
exactly.
He's Goldilocks.
Oh man, what
3
a-
bears.
Goldilocks. That's interesting.
Wow, this just turned into a porn real quick.
Yeah.
A Jewish Goldilocks. Yeah. She's going to find something that's just right. He loves it.
Oh,
I'm trying to get it. I'm laughing. I don't fully get it.
I understand what he's.
complain a lot.
Yeah.
I get
Oh man.
Kvetch. I get it. All right.
Well, there's
Oh, this porridge is so hot.
It's free. How could I turn it down?
I don't like this at all. This feels like
he's
entrapment.
Jewish.
What? That's what's
Yeah.
great is like I get to crack Jew jokes and I could like slide through
Or
a lot of.
say that phrase, what you just said.
I'm Jewish.
Yeah, he can
I know, but I can't. I would not feel comfortable saying those two words so close together like that.
It's so funny because I always think about
Jokes about Jewish people. That's fine.
I think about the word Jew. It's one of the weirdest words in terms of like, is it a slur or is it a noun?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
this
I think
is his whole N-word speech again.
It's just a noun.
Person, place, or thing.
but like I can't say the word.
I don't like.
I couldn't even say the word Jew in a sentence like these people like this kind of bread. I couldn't even do that. I don't use the word Jew. I don't know why.
Well, it wouldn't work in the sentence that you just gave as an example.
They like some bread.
I mean, it would be like.
But that's a singular, and you would be meaning these people, meaning they.
I would say
meaning,
Jews.
Ooh.
when you put.
See, that's what I'm saying.
When
Yeah.
you put the in front of it, that's really bad. The Jew without the S, it's a whole different conversation.
Oh yeah. Give that bread to the Jew. Oh no. I don't like any of what's been happening right now. But I will say that is a fucking interesting thing.
Yeah, Jew.
Because like I have Jewish friends as well. I would count you one of them.
Thank you.
You're climbing up the rungs, and I'm really proud of you for it. And
Well,
I'm rooting
so
for
many
you.
are falling down. It's easy to grab the ladder and climb up.
That is true.
I'm stepping on Brad's head right now.
It gets slippery. The higher up you get, it gets slippery. I will say, like, you say Jew, and like one of my closest friends, Lee Leshin, producing partner,
also Jewish.
he's Jewish as well,
Yes.
and he'll say Jew, and I'm like, I can't do it. It
I
just
don't
feels
say
wrong. It
really
feels
say
so
it.
wrong. Brad, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't even like hearing it.
Right? It's
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because the whole like, ugh.
The whole Jesus thing.
Oh, please stop! I'm gonna barf.
It
This is too much. This is too
No,
much.
Rupert's here.
That doesn't make it
I
okay.
give you the Jew pass today.
The reason that Rupert's here is
terrible.
because we got a lot of Jew stuff to talk about.
Oh no! Happy Hanukkah.
Welcome to our Passover Seder special.
Oh yeah, we're gonna drop this right at the beginning of November, right?
Yeah, November, please.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
The real reason Rupert's
Do
here.
you people do Thanksgiving?
We do, yeah.
So are there things you can't eat?
No, not Rupert.
Are you?
Not my family. I mean,
I mean,
you
there's
keep
things that Rupert
kosher?
refuses to eat, but they're pretty
I
specific to
thought
him
they
as a human.
hated Thanksgiving. I thought they were against it. Or is that the 4th of July? No. 9/11.
Yes.
Sorry, I get them all.
Wait, no, you guys planned it.
The reason Rupert's here. So, I've been friends with Brad for maybe 16 years.
Yeah.
A little bit like around that time.
It's felt like
Your friendship can drive.
Right. I've been friends with Ray for I don't know how many years, at least like 7.
Probably, yeah.
I think I saw the tag team comedy show thing come up recently, which is where we all met. And we've been friends for a long time in Rhode Island, doing a lot of creative things together. Started working with Tell 'em Steve Dave, met Rupert a long time ago, probably 2018,
yeah.
I think. And then a lot of people don't know this. When I was first looking to move to New York, Ruppert offered to drive me around Staten Island, and we did for like 4 hours. And this is like pre-COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It was like right before, right?
Yeah.
like
you told me
weekend
it
before.
was. You told me it was like mid-quarantine, and you were like, "Fuck that," and you went and you drove around.
No, I did take a road trip to Austin mid-COVID.
Yeah, and then you guys said you were taking down those signs that were in some yards that were like, "This house is a BLM house," like "We believe this, love is love," and you guys were ripping all of those
I
signs
thought that they
out.
meant to put BLT, and it was, and
Oh no,
I was like, me too.
yes.
no, me too is another one.
So I would put a cross on the yard, like lowercase t. No, so anyway,
this episode.
Off
no,
the
it's
rails.
Rupert. Anyway, so Rupert's been really nice to me for a long time, and then I moved to New York, and we got a lot closer over the
Yeah.
past few years. We're really close friends. We've been working on similar projects, reviewing history. Rupert's podcast started very similar time as Funbearable.
And I'm annoyed that your podcast is down here and I'm up there. Right?
I want to get you guys, like you and I want to.
Yeah.
I really want to get you guys on separately, and I want to do a big crossover episode.
Yeah, because I love history. Like I am a huge history buff, and your podcast is right up my ass.
It's
You know what I
perfect
mean?
because he loves history and he loves judging things. So he'll look at history and be like, "No, don't like it."
They got it all wrong.
They got it all wrong.
So
They did.
No, so we've gotten closer and we've done a lot of stuff together. We spend a lot of time together. We have our little side podcast, the Popcorn Kernels, that goes on both feeds. It goes on Funbearables
Rotates.
and goes back and forth on reviewing history.
And
so-
just to be fair, when it comes to being judgmental of history, I think there's a lot of people that are very judgmental of history. I think anybody who's into like any dudes that become like older dads that get super into like World War II or Napoleon, stuff like that, they're all going to judge that stuff. You know, how many guys have said, okay, you crossed the Rubicon. Now what?
Yeah.
You know?
There's
ask
a
you a
meme.
history-
Well, real quick, there's a meme I love where it's like dude over 40 like handbook, and like they walk in and then they're given like a historical war interest, and like one guy's like War of 1812, and another
yeah.
guy's like World War II. Yeah,
Everybody's got
yeah.
a war. Everybody's got their favorite war.
Have you read A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn?
I have not.
Okay. It's a very like leftist, left-leaning retelling of history in America about, instead of like, oh, the Industrial Revolution. It's like, oh no, like here's how workers were suppressed at that time, and strikebreakers and things like that. And I was just seeing a thing the other day about how like Project 2025 and the ilk are like, don't read that book. It says America is bad by publishing fictions. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's well documented that all these things happen.
It's really all it is it's history through a lens.
Yeah, through
that's
a different
But that's
lens.
every that's every version of history.
Right.
It's not revisionist.
No.
I know the book and
I only read it because Pearl Jam talked about Howard Zinn, and I'm like, all right, Eddie, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Whatever you want me to do.
God. Wow.
Anything for you, Eddie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as we become closer,
spoken.
like here and there, Ray and Brad will have some sort of contact with Ruppert, whether it's you coming on the
Can
show.
you come up and do the intervention with Chuck this week?
Yeah, or we have this big Tell 'em Steve Dave group chat, and it's me, Get 'em, Ruppert, Jimmy, Tom, and Brad.
Yep.
And so you guys
There's a
have
name missing from that list.
So
You don't want to be.
Yeah, I was just saying,
saying.
count your.
he's been, I bet you've been annoyed recently. With
Oh
it.
yeah,
He snapped at Jimmy the other day.
Did you?
Which I kind of love.
on your behalf.
What? Oh yeah. So
Viewer listener, mark it. More drama.
So anyway, you guys don't know Ruppert as well as I do, though, because we spend so much time together.
Yeah.
We go to the movies together all the time. We go to concerts together.
I mean, we were in Boy Scouts for 4 years together, so
That was you?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was well. You couldn't see me because he was pushing my face into the dirt.
Yeah.
at the trial.
had that-
They always don't tell Ruppert's identity at the trial.
Yeah.
So
I'm always pixelated.
Yeah.
so
And we found out the Pinewood Derby car races were fixed.
so I thought it'd be fun while we're here in Jersey
Our
doing all these
scoutmaster was Diddy.
doing all these Tell 'em Steve Dave related podcasts. I was like, what if I had Ruppert on the show to tell some of his stories, to fill in Brad and Ray about the type of man that he is.
Wow, that
Let you guys know what I'm about and what I stand for.
I'm so sorry.
to hear these stories.
I'm so sorry. I wildly distracted myself, and I sincerely apologize.
What happened?
I saw
said-
you kind of your
I
eyes
know, I was,
glazed
all the
over.
time.
I was
Yeah.
listening in my mind. I think the worst part about Diddy, because the Diddy news came out when we're recording this. I think the worst part is that he made them sit and watch Godzilla, the bad one, and he was like, "Yeah, because I did that. I did that. That's my song. Yeah."
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna say it here and now. Whatever comes out about Diddy, I will never stop listening to Bad Boys for Life. I just want to say it here, and I
Sure.
pause in.
You know who else?
Wait. The pause.
You know who else was adamant about making people watch Godzilla 2000?
yeah, that's damn
Yeah.
right. There's basically raptors in it. But we all agree. I mean, we all listen to Thriller.
How often are we really
Yeah.
throwing on Thriller? You know,
But that's in his sex mix.
When you're talking about top 5 Halloween songs of all time, we're talking about Thriller.
It's a short list though.
Here's
Get the
the
Monster
problem.
Mash.
Here's his sex mix. Any Diddy song,
Yep.
starting with "I'll Be Missing You,"
Yeah, this,
which is a weird way to start out.
Foreshadowing.
And
what their
then
parents will listen to, and
yeah, it's really rough. It really is. And then he also likes. Oh, I forgot the next one I was gonna do. Darn.
Feels so good.
What? Yeah. And then
No problems.
there was that Chris Brown song. And then weirdly, like sometimes stand-up tracks from Bill
was
Cosby
gonna make
will
the
start
same
playing,
Yeah.
and it's so strange.
And then an episode of Funbearable.
we can't get rid of Puff Daddy from our playlist.
I don't know that he's on my playlist.
More Money, More Problems? You're gonna tell me that you're not gonna listen to
I
More
don't-
Money, Problems from now until you die.
I don't believe that's true. I don't
I don't
believe
think
the
it's true either.
philosophy of mo money, mo problems.
Oh, you don't even know about it. I'm gonna give you
Listen,
some money. You're gonna find this out. Oh my!
I'll take some problems. Okay?
I could use a few problems.
I use a couple of problems, a few problems.
No.
This episode is we won't get to the thing, and I love it. I love it.
So we all love Diddy. No, we hate Diddy.
Diddy Kong, yeah.
We
I
hate-
want to make a shirt so bad
No.
that says "Free Diddy" on the front, and the back is a picture of Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
It's so funny
Oh
because
no, people would take that as a very racist T-shirt.
so for all the
You think so?
so for all the cancellation stuff that's happened over the past several years, I don't think I've liked someone as much and their behavior has been so reprehensible as the Puff Daddy thing. I was thinking
Really?
about
I thought you were about to say me. I was like, I don't think I did anything that bad.
this. But
What about Phil Spector?
I don't care about
You
Phil
loved
Spector.
Phil Spector before that all
No,
happened.
no, that's Phil Speculum. I just liked his inventing.
Okay.
No, but really, like, is there someone else that you loved that? Because like Bill Cosby was beloved by America, but I don't have a relationship with the Cosby Show or Bill Cosby.
Sure,
From
yeah.
a personal standpoint.
No, I get that, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think Puff Daddy might be the person where I'm like, more money, more problems.
Oh, I have one. Kevin Spacey. I really liked Kevin Spacey, and
I like him too, but I guess there's more.
well, we're just talking
distance.
about personal.
Yeah.
I-
for you.
I-
for you.
Yeah,
Yours.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I liked Harvey Weinstein, but now I love him.
Kevin Spacey's difficult for me though because I really did like him a lot.
I mean, Seven and American Beauty and Usual Suspects are insanely good.
Swimming with Sharks is a pretty unknown one.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
never saw
early
it.
on. Yeah, it's early on with him, and there's it's him and Frank Whaley starring in the movie, and Frank Whaley's kind of a jerk, I've heard. But I loved him for a period of time because of Swimming with Sharks and Career Opportunities, the like practically unknown John Hughes movie.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the one with Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
I know the one shot of her on
Yes.
the.
Yeah. But that movie had an incredible performance by Kevin Spacey. There's like a monologue that he does that was one of the first times as like a teenager I went, oh, that's like amazing acting. It was like the first time I was aware of it, and so he's always been that to me. Like Baby Driver, he's a killer in Baby Driver.
That's one of the last like big roles he had.
Yeah,
before,
and I just watched that recently with my son because I was talking about Edgar Wright with him, and I was like, this movie checks out. And I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, it's okay, right? And we watched it. He loved it. This 10-year-old was so into this movie. Do you know what he asked for Christmas this year? The Baby Driver soundtrack.
Wow.
I thought you were gonna say the car.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey's autograph.
I mean, I bet it's easier to get.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
doing cons now.
Is he?
Yeah, he did a con somewhere on the East Coast.
I will say this is kind of an interesting talking point, which is like, who is the canceled celebrity that hurts you the most?
Sure.
I think P. Diddy
Well, if you're a victim, that's easy.
but P. Diddy for me personally
Yeah.
is, I off the top of my head, I think he might be the number one just because he's been such a big part of my like I think Mo Money Mo Problems came out when I was like in 7th grade, and he came out with I'm Coming Home, which is just another song that I love in the past 7 or 8 years.
Which is now viewed as a threat.
Yeah. Yeah. But like it's a thing. I think that I will say this is really weird. I never thought about this until you mentioned Kevin Spacey. I think with actors, I'm more reserved in terms of like, oh, this person might be a terrible person. Not that I ever thought that actively about Kevin Spacey before the news came out.
Yeah.
But I don't feel as sure as I do with musicians. Musicians seem to be doing something that's more authentic, where actors are playing roles. So it's a little hard to think of them as those people. Like if I love John Doe in Seven, and I'm like, Kevin Spacey did a great job acting as that, it's different than seeing Blink-182 play a song.
Sure.
Because it feels a little closer.
But
to who they are.
ironically, it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
I think it does make a little bit of a difference, but probably more with people who are like so authenticity forward. I don't think that Puff Daddy was as authentic
No.
as someone like Bob Dylan or Tom Petty or Bruce Springsteen.
Sure, but I think everybody, any performer of any kind, actor, musician,
Yes, there's
magician,
some level of distance.
Yeah, there's
Author.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a big one. How about this in terms of people that you don't really, it didn't really affect you or anything.
Yeah.
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. is a huge one. I've worked with Louis.
Yeah. After.
I've worked with Louis after because I have my opinions about Louis that I think I'm not going to say on the podcast. But
Sure.
I think it's unfortunate that he was like, his apology was word for word like, hey, I didn't realize at the time that I had this power over people, and now I realize what I did, and I apologize for it. And people said it was like a bad apology, and I was like, that seems like the most honest, acknowledging thing I've heard as an apology. Dan Harmon we talked about yesterday.
Yeah. I didn't.
That was small.
I didn't love the apology, but I don't want to litigate everybody's
But
thing.
he did say those things, and I'm like, I wish other people would acknowledge the
Sure.
fact that when you slowly rise, and Louis wasn't Louis when all these things happened. It was like years and years before that. He was way, way, way smaller. when you slowly rise, maybe you don't realize that you're putting people in that position. And I think the idea of acknowledging that is an important part of an apology in terms of feeling like you put someone in that place. And I feel like that was really ignored. But like Dan Harmon had a smaller version of cancellation.
Sure, yeah.
And he's one of those people. I've never thought about this. Do you guys have anybody that hits you hard?
I'm going to save mine until we find out if Ruppert gets canceled for this.
I was just going to say, it's fun that we're talking about all of this before
I feel like I'm
stories happen.
Yeah.
All right, so I was with Diddy.
yes,
And
and Jeffrey Epstein.
I was with Jeffrey. I was with Bill Clinton.
You know what my number one is?
Say it into the microphone. Go ahead.
The cancellation is not. I can't say it.
Okay.
It's not public. It's just personal.
Okay.
Because of the people I've worked with.
I got you.
It's like
Drew
you know what I mean?
Barrymore. Yeah.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Although she kind of like low key did get canceled.
Yeah, briefly.
Because
the
of the
one I'm
union
actually thinking
busting?
of is probably my actual number one.
It's the union busting.
Yeah.
Really? Would I share this one?
Howard Zinn,
You wouldn't share it.
Howard,
You would know it,
Howard
though.
Zinn would be pissed at Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah. Well, viewer listener, you heard it again. More drama.
Do you
bubbling
have someone
underneath.
though?
I honestly.
I'm trying to get the. Can you guys just get on the same fucking page with me on this? Because this is what happens, okay? YouTube, podcast world. There are
know.
other shows dedicated to discussing the drama that comes around podcasts. So all episode, I have been trying to start the bubbling,
Oh, okay.
start the rumors,
Turn
start
it
the
up,
talk.
turn up the heat.
Yes, that's what I'm
A
saying.
little too hot.
So we're talking about this, and we talked about stuff that happened before we started podcasting. You know, all this stuff has been going on. Now we're hinting at a thing
I know.
that I
I
know
shouldn't have
what
hinted.
you're talking about, and you're trying to see if he knows, and he does know, but he doesn't know he knows. And this is great. This is how we get numbers.
This is fun though, but really, do you have a top person?
Not really. I have some.
Edgar Allan Poe.
What about
when
the
he
Neil
married his
Gaiman
cousin?
stuff?
I don't know that I probably own one Neil Gaiman
Okay,
book.
so you can say that
I
much.
read Neverwhere. I read Sandman.
You loved Hitchhiker.
Nope.
His Guide to the Galaxy.
Douglas Adams.
Douglas Adams didn't get canceled.
No,
Yeah,
he
he
died.
dead?
died.
Like,
Yeah, he
like-
just
Oh,
died.
I thought he was a homophobe.
I mean, he got life canceled.
Isn't there some other
Oh,
scientific?
Ender's Game, right?
Ender's Game. You love Ender's Game, and
Yeah.
that guy's a homophobe.
Orson Scott Card is famously anti-gay marriage, and
Yeah.
now he's moved to the right. A lot
And
of
he
stuff.
won't-
A lot of stuff changed in his life when one of his children passed away in 2001.
Oh, you
And-
think he lost it?
Yeah, I think he. Yeah, I think something shifted.
This is like.
But
Well, I can't bring it up because we haven't done the Chucky's Child's Play franchise flashback yet.
I have another one that's kind of close. Graham Linehan.
Oh, who's
Graham Linehan was a comedy writer. He wrote sitcoms.
Yeah.
He did like one of the last truly funny, really great 3-camera live audience sitcoms, The IT Crowd.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Is a UK guy. Did Father Ted, IT Crowd, Black Books, which is one of my favorite, just forever favorite like half-hour comedy shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Dylan Moran and him, Moran, did the show together, and I loved Graham Linehan, and I appreciated what he was doing, holding on to the 3-camera sitcom and making it smart and fun and kind of nerdy. IT Crowd's on Netflix, I believe, and you can check it out there. It's
Yeah.
very funny.
Yeah.
But he got like activated during like the trans discussion, and the man has, I think, ruined his life over this one issue.
Yeah.
Oh,
His-
I think I've seen this.
his
yeah.
wife left him. His kids won't talk to him, and he has like taken on full time like the war against trans people and trans rights. And he's like, it's for like he's a J.K. Rowling on steroids, basically, which ironically J.K. would hate.
He's a J.K. Rowling on steroids, meaning he's not J.K.ing.
Yep.
Just Rowling.
We did
He's
different
dead
jokes. I did. If it was J.K.
I'm
Rowling,
living my life wrong, eh?
if it was J.K. Rowling on steroids, J.K. Rowling would hate that. Because it would be J.K., starting to.
Rupert, you got one?
transition.
What?
Like a canceled person that
my,
hurt
my
you.
top guy is probably Marilyn Manson. I was a big Manson fan.
that's tough.
But I really
Turns out those people weren't so beautiful after all.
I think I slightly outgrew it, where it's like I kind of don't listen to Manson as much, but I think he's probably the top guy.
No, Manson.
Manson.
Marilyn
Marilyn
Manson.
Manson.
Thank you, get him.
I appreciate that he respected pronouns. He said, "Fuck them."
Yeah, but you know, someone out there, legitimately, the morning before the R. Kelly thing was like, R. Kelly is the most important artist in the history of music. You know that there are people that they're not in these like semi-canceled situations or situations where it's kind of arbitrary. You're not sure exactly how bad it is. Different people have different opinions. There are like the really canceled people like Cosby, Weinstein, R. Kelly. P. Diddy is now joining that bunch. And I think that, man, you feel so bad.
What a lineup.
For the people that were like true, real fans of these people that had no idea, and then they just had their hearts broken.
Yeah, someone has a Ghost Dad poster on their wall, and they're like, I love Cosby so much, I will go to bat for Ghost Dad.
I will say for the comedy community, I think that Bill Cosby was so important to so many people that it probably was an insane blow for a lot of people.
It was an insane blow, I think, also because he embodied this wholesome family thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, in his stand-up being super clean and I would never be dirty, and then like criticizing younger comics for being dirty.
Yes.
And you know, being the family dad on television, America's family dad, right?
No,
Pushing
you're right.
Pudding pops and stuff. No. And then suddenly this comes out. Like Louis C.K. wasn't doing ads where it's like sitting with the family eating pudding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
but
it's not
I
similar
think that was a
either
big
way.
one.
Yeah, no, it's like
it would be like finding out like Bill Nye, the science
it's
guy.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
That one's the most beloved. Yeah.
No, so it's crazy. So I think Marilyn Manson's
Marilyn Manson's probably my top canceled guy.
Yeah. I wonder about, I guess the sports people probably don't care as much. Like no one's like, Aaron Hernandez, man, he's going all the way. I'm with him from when he was a rookie, right? There's probably not.
I mean, if you're a Patriots fan, you're probably like, fuck, goddamn it. You know, he was good.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
also, if you're a sports fan, you're already, like, even from the beginning, super used to overlooking egregious, horrible things because you're like, yeah, but look at him throw that ball. Okay, so he beat his wife mercilessly in an elevator. She almost died of it.
Okay, he tied this little dog to a rape post.
Yeah.
And then that's what Michael Vick did, by the way.
Whatever. We've all made mistakes.
Speaking of mistakes.
Look at him run to the end of the field over there.
Speaking of mistakes.
Did you see that?
Ruppert is going to tell us his origin story.
Okay.
Also,
now,
a mistake
I like
is
Ruppert.
what my parents used to call me.
I'm a fan of Ruppert, and I can't wait to have my fucking earth shattered.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. So I'll start off with a classic Ruppert story.
Ruppert fucking rules.
Now, keep in mind, I think what's so shocking about this is for Brad and I, we have not heard these stories.
Yeah, I don't even know like where this falls.
Yeah,
in
my
it.
view of Ruppert is like he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He's got a kid. He's doing the thing. He's a teacher. He's got reviewing history. He works on Tell 'Em Steve Day
I know,
stuff.
he's like-
he's
he
just a
seems like-
friendly, really nice guy.
Exactly.
Like if
he's like helpful. He's like he helped us film for Funbearable before we started.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me throw you some money. And he's like, no, I don't want any money. I just wanted to help
I do it
out.
for the love of the game.
Yeah,
That's what he
exactly.
said.
That's the type of guy he is, and that's gonna be flipped
and
on
I
its
feel
head
like
right
if
now.
I got a flat tire and I was in Jersey, I'd be like, I think I could get a hold of Ruppert, and he would help me, and he'd be like, not a
definitely.
problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the most delightful things that I didn't expect moving here was my friendship with Ruppert.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love
I
this guy.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'll say,
right.
I think if that flat tire happens in the middle of Times Square, you're like, oh, who can I call?
Absolutely, without
Yeah.
a doubt.
I'm letting you know,
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
call
to be
that
useless
Jew.
as far as like.
Oh no, I don't like that no one laughed. I tried to make
We
a
don't
joke
use
and
that
join
word.
that. Yeah. Everybody's like, what did you do?
By the way, I'll give a quick.
I just want someone. To
This
go get a
episode's
big
called
Reese's
Cancel
cup.
Us. By the way, this episode is called Cancel Us. We dare you.
So I'll give you two more sentences about Ruppert. When I first moved here, Ruppert said, "Let me take you and our new buddy Jimmy and our buddy Tom on a pizza tour of Staten Island because it's one of the best places for pizza in the world."
I can hear the accordion right now.
And he was like, I want to just take you to all the best places. And that's when I was introduced to a ton of pizza places on Staten Island that are amazing, that I've taken Brad to, that I've taken a lot of people to. And
Was it hard to push the gondola that was on the skateboards?
Ellen B. Spumoni Gardens in Brooklyn, which is my #1 pizza place of all time.
They always say Staten Island is the Venice of New York City.
By the way, we're referring to this Adidas track jacket as Staten Island formal wear.
I mean, I wear
Brad
that
came
all
up
the time.
Brad came up with it.
Staten Island tuxedo. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, we've got now. Shake me to the core.
Okay, so we gotta go back in time.
Hell yeah.
2012.
2012. We're all kind of scared that the world will end.
We're at Brad's 85th birthday.
So
Chuck E. Cheese has said this is the last time they'll allow it.
Yeah, right. Let's just like last time.
Looks like you're going to get a phone call from Brian Roar next year.
Someone peed in the ball pit.
Finally.
So I did like the tour of chain restaurants around Staten Island. I had dropped out of college a bunch of times.
Working.
Was this to do the tour?
He was working.
I was working. So
Okay,
like I
all
did
right.
like
This is a different story.
The way you said it was like you dropped out of college to do a tour of franchise restaurants. I found my passion.
I love Culver's, goddamn.
What will this class do for me? I know what I want to do with my life.
No, so like I would work at Applebee's and then, I would go somewhere else and all these different restaurants. Eventually I get to an Outback and my yeah.
Just the description of it.
It's like the pinnacle of
From
chain restaurants.
Tuesdays to Fridays, I saw them all. And then I got to the Outback.
It's funny though because it's like it changes your perception of the restaurants after you work there. It's like I would never fucking eat there. Like I see how this shit is made.
Oh, you were working at these places.
That's what I said like 3 times.
I'm so sorry. I only took it
I
as
said he was working.
because you said he took you on a pizza tour,
I know,
right? And
I
so
know.
I'm
And then he
only
said I did a
imagining
tour.
you doing that.
I just what is this? What's that show? Fucking where they go Doughboys?
Oh yeah. No,
yeah.
this is him working at many different chain restaurants.
Yeah.
Got it. I thought this was like a Love on the Spectrum kind of thing. You know what I mean?
It was. but
That's
different.
That's me and Ruppert becoming friends when I moved to Staten Island.
So
You're working at Outback.
I'm working at Outback now. I started working a couple months ago, like maybe September, let's say. So it's February 2012, and it's the Super Bowl, and it's the undefeated New England Patriots. They're going to play the Giants, right? It's a big deal. Everyone in New York is into it. And my restaurant, this guy, I'll call him Pete. That's not his name. He starts a pool where you get the boxes, and if you win, you could get money.
Yeah.
So I have numbers, and I'm watching the game, and I'm rooting for the Patriots the whole game, which I'm a Jets fan, so that may shock people already because I'm surrounded by Giants fans who want to torment me.
Right, yeah.
And I'm
The
not
Jets
around,
aren't the Giants.
I'm not
Right.
around Patriots fans, so I was like, I'd rather they fucking win again. What else is new? And I'm not going to be tormented.
That's why I was rooting for the Giants in that year because
No.
I don't care for football and I'm surrounded by Patriots people, so I'm like, let's go Giants, let's do this.
Yeah, shut everybody up.
Yeah, yeah,
around. Yeah. So, sorry. So I'm watching the game, and the Giants score a touchdown to take the lead in the game, and now my numbers are about to hit. My switch is flipped immediately, and I'm like, "Fucking go Giants! You better fucking hold!" And they do, and I win. I win $500.
Nice.
So the next day at work, I come into my job, and I'm like, "Hey, Pete, you got my money? I won." He's like, "Oh, I don't have it today." I was like, "Okay, that's fine."
No, do the accent.
Oh, his accent?
Yeah.
You don't need
He
to.
works he works at Outback.
Oh.
So he's like, "Oh, I don't have your money."
He was about to do like a Puerto Rican accent.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was making a joke about the Outback, folks.
I was going to go to like a thick Staten Island accent.
Oh,
That's
okay,
fair.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, no, I thought it was more like, "Oh, I don't have your money," you know?
Yeah.
I don't have your money. That's my Australian.
That's an Australian.
Oh yeah, you're bad at doing Australian accent.
I can't get the accent at all.
Hey, I'm from Australia over here. Look at that fucking
down under.
kangaroo. Wow.
You're John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever.
Why is that kangaroo carrying 2 paint cans?
So I go to the guy. I'm like, "Hey, I want my money." And he's like, "I don't have it today." I'm like, "Okay, fine." Time goes by, and I'm working with the guy. He's a coworker, and I'm asking him, "Where's the money? Where's the money?" I'm not getting it. And
Days, or is this in the same shift?
No, days.
yeah. I'm
Okay,
not
yeah,
going
yeah.
up to him as a shit. Like,
Come on, where's the fucking money?
Weeks are going by, and
Oh, yeah, see, that sucks. That sucks.
So I start going to people. I'm like, "Did you?" And people that hit other boxes. I'm like, "Did you guys get money?" And they're like, "No." And it turns out he took the money and put it all into drugs up his nose from the pool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's working at a chain restaurant. So I was like, okay. And there was one day, me and him are in the bathroom, and I go, I'm letting you know, I want my money by this date, or I'm kicking the shit out of you. And he's like, no, like, fucking, you're going to get your money. I go, okay. The day comes. I work with him earlier that day.
You never want to hear Ruppert say, okay. You never want to hear that. Do you know that that's your thing?
Is that really?
When someone is pissing you off and you're going to take action, you go, okay.
Is that really my thing?
You do. You've done it 1,000 times in front of me when you were pissed off in a story. Okay. You do that.
Okay, I guess that's my tell.
You just did it to me.
That's fun. That's fun.
Okay.
Well, this
You
is
and me in the parking lot.
It's a public service announcement. So now, if anybody, if you're with Ruppert and he says that,
Run.
He's going to the car and he's going to pop the trunk on a old Crown Victoria and pull out the baseball bat, right? Because this is absolutely like Goodfellas 2012.
Oh yeah.
So there I was working at Outback. I met this guy named Pete running the numbers.
Yeah. It's such a Staten Island story, right?
That's the camera panning around the kitchen.
I'm taking my date through the Outback kitchen, the rats by the dumpster.
Yeah. You meet your new buddy, played by Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
He's dunking a guy in the fryer. Now your face is a fucking blooming onion.
That's good.
This is fun.
So someone's getting waterboarded with the friggin' the blooming onion sauce.
I'll talk. Jesus, let him up.
Yeah. All right.
They found him dead on the Ruby Tuesdays salad bar.
Moon's over my Sammy.
Yeah. He's
Sammy.
on ice, if you know what I'm saying.
His name was Sammy.
Oh, shit. Now I get it. Now you're clever.
Yeah.
Did you just say he's on ice for the salad bar?
Yeah, I did.
That's a really good fucking
thank
pun
you,
that
thank
took
you.
me a second.
Thank you.
We have too many good quips.
I know, we're going fast.
So the day comes, and it's like now March, right? It's been a month since the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me, he's like, I don't have your money today. I go, okay. Yeah,
I did it.
So we go about the shift, and he's closing the restaurant, and I get out before him. So I leave.
I go to my Crown Vic.
You're like spot on. So I call Anthony and Steve, my co-hosts on the show,
Reviewing history.
Yep.
And I'm like, you guys got to come. I need back just in case something like happens. I get stabbed or whatever.
Back is short for backup.
Yeah. Staten Island.
Sometimes you're in a hurry. You don't even have time for that. You know, I need back. I need back. Hurry up.
So I put on an all black hoodie, all black sweatpants.
You can fucking ninja the guy.
I look like a
Are you
ninja.
gonna ninja this guy?
I'm wearing
You put the hood up and you close it as tight
I
as
have a ski mask, a hood, black gloves. I'm a full ninja. The only thing is just a slit of eyes. And I'm completely black.
You sound like Tanya Harding's husband's friend.
Hold on, let me paint a picture of you too.
Yes, Jeff Galooly. You Galooly'd this guy.
I'm gonna do this as gently as possible. How many pounds ago was this?
Oh, at this time?
That wasn't gentle.
You're a fat fuck.
How many pounds ago? Oh my God.
I'm probably there.
He was like a wrestler though. He was like a legit.
Well, I used to be in shape, and you know,
He used to be very, very athletic. So don't just imagine Ruppert Ninja now. Athletic Ninja.
It's not Chris Farley Ninja. It's like
not Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah.
We're talking about Sub-Zero.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I'm in shape.
You did say get over here.
Yeah.
Luke Kang was in.
did.
Wasn't Luke Kang in Beverly Hills Ninja?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm dressed in complete black, and
And then you got your two buddies.
My-
So there's, oh man, what are their
Scorpion.
names? Tum Tum, Tugger, or
Oh
something?
no, Colt.
Colt, Tugger, and Tum Tum.
I don't know the
are
middle.
those three ninjas.
That's
Tum
the
Tum
three
and Colt.
ninjas.
Yeah. Tum Tum and Colt for
children.
sure.
Yeah, Tum Tum I know. Colt.
You keep going. You keep going.
I've never seen it.
Magic Mountain, Hulk Hogan, right? That's the third one.
That's
I
the
think.
second one?
Second
Third
one?
one? Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I love them as kids.
Me too.
Oh, dude, I remember I had a like a sense memory when I took my son to York Beach, Maine. I've talked about this on the podcast before. I had a friend that lived right near the area where we were hanging out, and I got a sense memory when I saw the house because that summer I would ride my bike over to his house, and like every time I went inside, either he or his younger brother was watching Three Ninjas. We watched that movie so many times. Like at that age, that movie was important to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me and my brother Denny also, and the other one's name was Rocky.
Rocky.
Rocky Colt Tum Tum.
Damn.
Was Rocky
where was I
like the
getting
kind of
Tugger?
cool one, right?
I would think he's the oldest.
Okay, I think that was the one. That,
Where
I think that
where
my
was I
favorite.
getting Tugger? Oh, Rum Tum
Tugger
Tigger
from Cats.
Tugger? Yeah, maybe it's
Tugger.
that.
Tugger.
I don't know. Look, it's been a long
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
All right, so you're out there.
So
You've
I'm
got
in
your
all
ninja
black,
stars.
sitting in my.
You're whipping the nunchucks.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my car in all black, and my friends. I'm not in the lot directly by Outback. I'm in the lot. Like across the street where you can peer at Outback because I'm waiting for the guy to come out of the restaurant. So
Isn't this great?
So my friends,
I'm horrified.
my friends pull up and they're like, "Where the fuck is Brian?" I'm like, "I'm in the car," and I'm in there like a fucking ninja. So they come in the car and they're sitting in the car with me, and we're there for like an hour. I'm like, "He's not out yet.
Why'd you want me to bring this sword?
Yeah.
Why am I sharpening these stars?
Why do I got these poison dagger tips? Yeah.
What do they call those like sharp, oddly angled things?
Caltrops?
Caltrops, yeah.
Wow,
For like popping tires and stuff.
That's deep ninja. I don't know.
Yeah.
So-
hey, I used to be a ninja. I broke my back in a ninja fight, and that's when I gained all this weight. Wow. Yeah.
That's what happened. The ninja fight did you in?
Yeah.
All right. So you're about to
You're in the car.
I'm
your
in the
friends
car.
show
Could
up.
be a rumble in the Staten Island.
commit battery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We'll get to the actual battery. So I'm in all black,
Yeah.
and I'm waiting for the guy to come out of the restaurant, and he's not coming out. And my friends go, "We're not sitting in this fucking car with you all night. Like, if you want to sit out here alone, sit out here alone." They go into the Fridays next door to the Outback and sit by the window so they can peer out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just watching, and Outback is closed now, and I don't even see the guy leave. I'm like, this is fucking weird. He must have left through the back, but he comes back at night, and he's there to pick up the manager that he's secretly banging. That comes into play later.
Okay.
I love
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I was part of restaurant drama. That's the one thing I missed out in my life. The one thing.
The one
only
single thing.
The only thing. I've been to Disney World. I ate a donut. No restaurant drama.
It's never too
Yeah.
late. I mean, you can always go do like a shift at Applebee's.
I
You know, if you
should.
want.
This is
Yeah.
what you picked up. This is the one thing you took from Kitchen Confidential,
I love it. Well, I love hearing
Anthony Bourdain's book.
these restaurant stories are so full of drama.
Well,
it's so
that's because
crazy.
restaurants, like people that work in restaurants, like they're not like you know
I
what I
know,
mean.
I
It's
know.
not Rachel Ray back there. You
No,
know what
it's
I mean?
not.
Yeah.
No, our buddy.
These are hard people.
Our buddy
people,
Sousa
good working people.
He worked at Fridays for 1,000 years, and so I knew 1,000,000 people there, and it was always this crazy shit going on behind the scenes.
Everyone's fucking everyone.
Yeah.
It's
If
crazy.
every restaurant kitchen closed down tomorrow, cocaine would go out of business.
That's funny.
It's true. I worked in a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
So this guy parks and he's walking to the Outback, and my friends are watching, and they told all the employees in Fridays because both restaurants are next to each other, so everyone knows. He's like, "Hey, he's gonna kick the shit out of Pete," and everyone's like looking at the window. as
Outback
comes.
Pete?
and I show up, and I'm full ninja, just my eyes, and I stand in front of Pete. I go, "Where's my fucking money?" And he goes, "I don't have your money." I go, "Stand in front and fight me like a man." I'm like, you owe me money. And like, I'm always like, if I'm of the mind, like old school masculinity, it's like, if you challenge me to a fight, I will accept. And, you know, I'm either going to win or lose the fight, but I'm going to give it a go.
I do not subscribe to old school masculinity.
I think that's a trap because if you say that definitively, like what if Stephen Hawking was like, "Fight me like a man, you bastard," right? Are you going to be
I'd
like,
tip him.
"You challenged me"? Yeah, you would tip him over.
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy fight. I don't have to do damage.
Spaces, Stephen Hawking.
Explain black holes now, you bastard.
You son of a bitch! I will fucking kill you.
Ha ha ha. Joke's on you. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Someone help me now. There is a ninja attacking me. I think he's Jewish. Why did he take time to type it?
I am desperately holding back my anti-Semitism.
If I could salute the way I want to, I would.
Come on, Brad. Do one.
how
Do
many-
a Hawking. Do a Hawking with us.
How many points do your ninja stars have?
It's a Jewish style.
That is really good. Bravo.
Yeah, that was great.
That's fucking great.
So the guy's like, I'm not fucking fighting you. And I'm like, well, I have to kick your ass because I told you by this date that I'm kicking your ass if I don't have my money. So the guy runs to one door and tries to get in, but it's locked. Mm-hmm. So now he goes to the front door of the restaurant and he's trying to push it open. And I wrestled into college and, I fought I know how to fight.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
He was a wrestler that was very in shape.
Yeah.
So, and I was doing jiu-jitsu at the time.
So he could like choke you out good.
Now, did you start jujitsu because you thought it was spelled differently?
Yeah. I thought it was just for Jews. I was like, what are all these Gentiles doing here?
I'm here to learn.
Yeah.
You defeated me once, but never again.
I was promised this would be a Jew-free zone.
Oh, God, this is terrible.
I love racist Hawking.
Yeah, it's funny. He's a good character.
That is a quality character. Yeah.
So he's grabbing on like the big metal bars to push in.
Yeah.
And I grab him from behind and he's holding on for dear life as like I'm pulling him back, right? And I'm grabbing him. Eventually I break his grip and I take him back sideways. And I get
How old would you say this guy is? I'm sorry, I just want to get a mental picture. I know we're interrupting this story so
No,
much.
it's fine. Yeah.
That's Funbearable, really.
Yeah.
So how old are you at the time?
So right now I'm going to be 37 in October.
25?
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're well. Oh, happy belated birthday
Yeah,
for when
this
this
is
comes
coming
out.
in November, yeah.
25?
At this time, yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Okay,
So
and
he's
how-
probably
yeah.
26.
Oh, okay, all right. Because when you're like, and then I throw him on the ground and stuff, I'm like, I need to know if this is like
50-year-old
a young man or like if Pete is like a grizzled guy. Like, I
Yeah.
tell you, I'm getting your money. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
my kids need to eat this week.
My granddaughter's got diabetes.
My family is starving. My wife and kids.
Please, you'll get your money.
I ain't got no legs. You know that.
Jesus Christ, this guy's gonna ninja me.
Wait a minute. This is Stephen Hawking right before the wheelchair.
Listen, I'll pay you as soon as my Social Security check comes in.
I got this theory about the black hole. It's going to work out.
Please don't break my thumbs. It's the only thing I got to make money. I can't carry plates without it.
Oh, God.
So I pull the guy back and I get him in what's called a rear naked choke, which
Yes.
if you know wrestling, it's kind of like a sleeper hold where it's one of these. So we're on the ground and I'm full ninja and I'm choking the guy. And
Do you wrap your legs around him?
yeah, I have the
Yeah,
full
yeah,
hold.
yeah.
He's if
Are
I
you
want,
wrenching? Are you wrenching him back?
Yeah, if I want at this point, I could kill him.
Yeah, because you were a wrestler in college. You were a college level wrestler,
Yeah.
and you're putting a guy in a hold. That's genuinely like that's the kind of fight that does scare me. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
If I would not want to fight someone who wrestled at the college level, who was like jacked and ready to go. I wouldn't want to do it now. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that you're not jacked.
I got an idea.
I'm definitely not jacked.
I got an
People
idea.
with eyes can see.
All right, put me in a rear naked choke.
Yeah.
And then you guys react.
Yeah.
YouTube, Ruppert chokes.
Yeah.
That's
the thumbnail.
What's the timestamp? What's the timestamp on the audio?
Craig, how red can you make Brad's face?
It's purple.
The glasses are photoshopped slightly flying off.
It's weird. We have a person in our life who a former Marine, and he put me in a rear naked choke, like just to show me what it was. We were outside of the venue Dusk in Providence when he did it, and I'm like, if he wanted to, he could kill me right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was cutting off my ear. He was cutting off the blood supply
Yes.
to my
Yep.
head.
Carotid arteries.
And I'm like trying to tap. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh no, a real chokehold is fucking terrifying.
It was.
It happened.
Even this. I'm like, oh yeah, Ruppert could kill me.
You said a Marine friend, right?
Yeah.
When I was in high school, there was a brother of one of my friends
Yep.
who came back, and this was
we had the Marine that came back. I don't like it.
and he did a chokehold on me.
That's what this guy did.
Yeah,
He came back from
and
the
he
Marine.
did it. And what was so fucked about it is he got his arm in the right spot, and he's like, "Yeah, do you see that?" And I'm like, "Uh huh." And he's like, "Now check this out." I'm tightening my arm a little bit, and I'm like, "Uh huh, yeah, you're choking me." Uh-huh. And then he goes, "But here's what's
Sound
messed
like
up.
Gibby there.
I don't have to squeeze anymore. I just have to flex." And he did it, and I legitimately stars. I was like, oh God. And you would die from that. So you've got this guy down.
And I'm choking.
He's begging and pleading. He's like, I'm 64, please.
I have osteoporosis.
Oh, my new hip.
So I'm choking him. And now the manager that he's banging inside runs outside.
My robot smoke hole.
And remember, the only thing you could see on me is my eyes.
Yeah.
And she's just going, Brian, get off of him. Brian, get off of him. So the whole ninja disguise is for no fucking reason. Completely
She's saying
useless.
it calmly like that? Brian, get off of him.
Not that level. Like, Brian, let go of him. Let go of him.
Yeah.
And she starts pulling at my, like, mask.
My disguise.
Yeah. And I'm not letting
my
go.
lucha tradition.
And my friend.
Not my secret identity.
So
I'm Brute Man.
So Steve runs out from Fridays where everyone is watching me kick this guy's ass. And I get unmasked at that moment, and now I'm being choked. And I let go because Steve comes out, and he's like, get off him, it's enough. So I get off, and I just look at him while he's down on the ground, and I'm unmasked. The manager sees me now, and I go,
I'm unmasked.
Yeah. How many people get to honestly say that?
I was just going to say, this is the first real conversation I've been in where somebody can say in context, and then I was unmasked.
It's like this and the Masked Singer contestant.
Yeah.
Also, Chuck on his COVID road trip.
Thank God.
So I go, I want my fucking money, Pete, and I drive away, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't see this reaction, so this is told to me after. Other people don't like this guy because he's like a skeezy guy who, like, obviously stole everybody's money at Outback.
Yeah.
And the Fridays people, a lot of them had left Fridays because they had fights with him too and stuff, and that they left Outback, and that's where they're at Fridays now because they had
Right.
problems with him.
Yeah, they're doing the tour.
So what does everyone else think of the people that he stole other people's money too? So what do they think of you getting revenge?
Well, we'll tell that part in a second. So
boy.
Steve goes back into Fridays, and everybody's
cheering. Yeah.
Yeah, and I become like a cult hero, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going about my day.
Like Darkman.
Yeah, Steve and Anthony come to me, and Darkman.
I don't know.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
So Steve and Anthony come, they're like, oh, they love you in there. You're like a hero now. I'm like, cool. So then, like, the next morning, I'm looking at my shift, seeing when I have to come back to Outback, and all my shifts are gone. And I'm like, this is odd. Why would this happen? This is odd.
This is the thing that makes me want to cancel you, is you not realizing the consequences.
Why? This is so weird.
A manager saw me choking out a guy who admittedly stole from me.
I physically attacked another employee on the property.
And he's already said that the manager was banging this guy.
Yeah.
Remember too.
Yep.
This is so weird.
Yeah.
So this is an assistant manager. So I show up for my next shift, right? And I'm like, what? Why am I off the schedule? And I say this to the big GM, and she's like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little mixed up. I call up, and I'm like, why am I off the schedule? Like, you need to come in and talk to us on, like, Wednesday or something, right? So I have, like, a day or two gap. And I text the other employees. I'm like, yeah, they took me off the schedule. And they're like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get proof that Pete is sleeping with this assistant manager.
Wow.
And we're going to get the proof, and you're going to use that proof to kind of barter for your job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
What constitutes proof of that?
So after the shift, after a shift, like that night, I meet up with the other employees. And I get in the car. Everybody is furious at Pete and this manager, right? And, you know, I'm a cult hero now. He stole everyone's money, and I kicked his ass.
Yeah, because the law didn't work, and so a vigilante had to take the law into his own hands. Yeah.
A hero will rise.
Right, yeah.
It's like a Spider-Man situation. So
I mean, not Spider-Man. Maybe I'm thinking more of a
Punisher.
like he's what the city needs right now.
Okay.
kind
You're
of
gonna
thing,
say
you know?
Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead?
A lot of people were calling me a bit of a pumpkin.
Ray was showing his Pumpkinhead stuff last night.
What? No, you were showing us. He does this all the time.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I love it. Anyway, let's see. Pumpkinhead gets revenge for you. What do they say?
Oh yeah. they say there is a bit of a folklore around here, these parts, that if you're wronged
Oh yes.
in some way, that you can call upon Pumpkinhead for revenge, but your soul will be damned for all eternity.
Well, I will say some of those restaurants are no longer with us in that spot.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So they're like, all right, we're gonna drive at night. We're gonna follow them home. We're gonna film on our cell phones. And then
multiple people?
Multiple employees. So
everybody knows a stakeout is best when it's 8 to 12 people.
Yeah. He goes to the Hertz, they rent an 8-passenger van.
Yeah.
It's like a party van. It's like a Hummer. The lights are on.
It's one of those tour double deckers where the top has no roof. Back up a little bit.
Beep, beep.
So
they follow.
So we're following them and we're tailgating them. And I know the guy's a drug addict. So we eventually kind of lose their tail. And I call the cops. I'm like, hey, we saw this car going down this way. The guy has drugs in there. Trying to get the guy busted.
Yep.
And we're not able to get concrete evidence. But I'm like, I have a plan. I get a blank DVD, and the day of my meeting, I show up with it.
Ah, yes.
Right?
A bluff.
The big bluff.
Wow. Yep.
And I'm like, that's going to be my trump card.
Yeah, and you wrote with a Sharpie sex evidence.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the meeting, and the manager's like, you know why you're here? I'm like, no, I don't. And she's like, you attacked Pete in the parking lot. And I'm like, no, I didn't.
Pete's in a full body cast going, pointing at you.
And she's like, we have it on the security cameras, and they play some of the footage. I'm like, that wasn't me. And
you hear, Ant or Steve or whoever runs over there Brian Ruppert, get off of it. You can let him go, Brian Ruppert.
And he's like, I'm not going to let him go if my name isn't Brian Ruppert.
Please, or you'll have to change your social security number from 3315.
Pay me my money. You can write a check. Make it out to Brian Ruppert.
Here, I'll give you a sample of my DNA.
If that was in there, this psychopath would be sitting there like this.
Yeah.
Must be a different Brian Ruppert. I don't know.
Well, I tried to just...
Common name. A lot of Rupperts on Staten Island.
Yeah. I tried to just play... No matter what, I wasn't going to admit it. So then...
The Shaggy defense.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Exactly. So me and her now we're playing almost like a game of chicken where it's I have this. Well, I have this.
Yeah.
We're dueling. So she's like, okay, then we have to have the cops come and investigate who did this. And at that I say, all right, you got me. It was me. Exactly how I say it, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, why? And I'm like, he stole the money from everybody, and he wasn't paying me. And I told him if I didn't have by this date, I was going to kick his ass.
In my defense, I told him I was going to beat him up.
And she's like, she goes, I understand. Now, if this would have been 6 feet away on the blacktop of the parking lot, you would have been fine. Because he made it onto the concrete grounds
the property
of property, we have to fire you. And I was like, okay, I understand that. I was like, but
Columbo, one more thing before I go.
Exactly. I go, here's the thing. I want to be able to collect unemployment for being let go. I want this to go down as a good termination, you laid me off or whatever. I want my $500, or I'm going to go to the police and talk about the illegal gambling that took place in your establishment. I will also be going to corporate to let them know about your assistant manager sleeping with an employee. And I pull out the blank DVD and I put it down. I go, I have copies, so you can keep this one. And I slide it to them.
It was very easy to make copies.
Yes, it took no time at all to make those copies.
I can make copies so fast.
Brad is about to suck off Ruppert.
It's weird because I don't love the physical violence.
You don't love it.
I don't love it.
You just like it.
I like it.
You're afraid of it, but that's what draws you in.
I'm such a
pacifist,
a bootlicker that I'm like, well,
I like how he's just like, oh, that's me.
The restaurant has the power, and Ruppert is wrong. You shouldn't get part of me is you shouldn't get it doesn't matter. You shouldn't get unemployment.
Good for you.
Oh no, I shouldn't.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
get the unemployment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird situation. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff at play.
Yeah.
It's not
so,
black and white.
So I'm like, I want my money. I want, and I give my list of demands.
Yeah.
And I give the DVD over. I'm like, you could keep that. I have more. And she's like, you'll have your money by this date. Because the manager is terrified that I can escalate this by getting the cops involved for the illegal gambling.
Yep.
And then on top of it, going to corporate and talking about, that she's letting this happen under her watch and everybody knows about it.
It's a huge hassle and huge headache. Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially for something that is like a franchise, chain restaurant. It's great because there is that whole hierarchy of people and stuff like that. Like it's lesser, but like I worked at Arby's the year before I went to college.
Us chain restaurant guys, we look down on the fast food.
No, of course I know. Yeah. But like I was an assistant manager. It was only the year before I went to college. But that place, like I took advantage of being in that position, and all my friends ended up working there because they put me in charge of hiring.
Yeah.
And the manager didn't give a shit, so I was just like doing the thing. Long story short, I was told every Sunday night at the end of the week when I did the weekly budget thing to take $500 and put it in an envelope and leave it in the safe, and the district manager would come in at the end of the week and take that money. And I knew what that was. That's the district manager straight up taking $500 from every one of the places.
Yep.
He's just taking it off the top.
Yeah, I remember.
So when they closed that Arby's, I had already left. And I got a phone call from my friends that were working there. Like they just came in and told us like they're shutting it down today. We can stay and help break everything down and be paid for the day, or we can go now. Like no notice. And I'm like, that's my friends. Yeah. So I was like, I'll be right there. And I went down and I saw the district manager. And he's like, oh, Ray. And I'm like, hey, real quick question. What was that $500 every week that I was doing that thing? I got them a week of the pay, but fuck it, do it.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Bravo. I wish I had the forethought then, but I was like 19. So you had the clear head of a 25-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My cerebral cortex was almost done cooking.
yeah. Mine was still so soft.
I can't tell the whole story, but there was a thing that I got in trouble for at work, and I had to bring up one of your managers was sending naked pictures
I
to
remember that story,
an employee, the employee being me, and that's not okay. And I had to use that as a bargaining chip when I was getting let go. Same thing. Yeah. Similar thing.
And I have it on good authority that employee that was getting those naked photos has been masturbating in the store. Okay? I have it on good authority.
In the store.
And I can get you evidence if you need it.
Just outside the store, in the parking lot.
At home.
On the way to work.
I can get you some evidence. Give me like 15 minutes to rest.
So
you're going to love this evidence.
How much evidence do you need?
Wow, that's a lot.
how many ounces of evidence?
Yeah.
So I 2 days go by and she said she'll have the money for me.
Yeah.
I come in and she meets me at front before the restaurant opens.
She doesn't have the money.
And Ruppert immediately gets on the phone with Aunt and Steve. Meet me at the Fridays.
It's happening
Get my
again.
ninja shit. Hey, Steve, get my ninja shit. Yeah. No, she hasn't. No, she won't do it. All right. Yeah.
So
Bring my unleavened nunchucks.
Oh, I just remember my metal nunchucks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to let you,
all right.
You can teach me.
I could show you how to use them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gives me my money. I go, thank you. Have
Yeah.
a good day. And she gives me like, letter of recommendation. I'm able to collect unemployment. I'm like, fine, this is great.
This is all good.
I start delivering pizzas off the books and my car gets totaled and I use that money to make my first feature movie.
That's true.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It all worked out. And I have a legendary story.
It's great. Isn't that a good story?
Very good story. Very good story.
You think? Yeah.
That's
so-
fun, and it really does speak to this idea that I don't know. I hope I'm not softening getting older. Like I have a 10-year-old. I'm 41.
Yeah.
I've been married for 15 years, but I always had a driving factor of like, when I was in my 20s or when I was doing stuff in college and stuff like that, there was always this feeling of like, later on in the future, when I'm older, I will be looking back at this time and I want to be able to say, I did this, and I had this experience, and then this crazy thing. It's like a movie kind of stuff happened. Bravo. I love it.
I think that was a thought in my head when I got out of my last long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm going to be single for the last time in my life, I think. And then eventually I'm going to settle down with someone. And during this time, I will become a bona fide lunatic. And that's what I did.
Yeah, you did stuff that was in movies.
Yeah, I did. Sure
In
did.
special theaters, yeah.
Yeah,
If you want to know the movie, it's the one that Nicolas Cage was watching that he just couldn't keep watching. Turn it off! Turn it off!
No, rewind it. Play it slow motion.
And you can hear it just on the TV. I want to edit this. I want to edit this. I want to take that scene and I want to add in that laugh through the filter of like a TV speaker. You know what I mean? That would be amazing. Turn it off!
I like the idea. Can we please keep Stephen Hawking being like a disgusting human being?
I hope that character sticks
That's
around.
pretty fun.
It's
It is pretty
good.
fun.
He can
Yeah.
be racist, whatever you want.
Oh,
Sexist.
Yeah, horny.
Yeah, sure.
He could be all the things.
I hate black holes.
Yeah.
Not the ones in the sky.
Oh, come on, Stephen. Hawkman.
Come on.
that's fun.
I'm telling you, we got to take that ramp out. Not let him on the podcast anymore.
All right, so we're going to close the episode there. We had a lot of fun with Ruppert, and the conversation took a turn.
It took a beautiful turn.
It took a beautiful, wonderful turn. Sometimes turns are difficult. Change is hard, but
U-turns,
U-turn.
left field.
K-turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn.
Lana Turner.
And so
Is that one?
not only
Tina Turner.
Tina.
Damn.
Trey Turner.
not only did we record for a few hours, but also the subject matter changed a lot.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to cut it here. And next episode that comes out from Funbearable will be the very first Funbearable After Dark, where you're going to find out about Ruppert's freak off.
And speaking of Ruppert's Freak Off, you can go to bandcamp.com
Yes.
and type in Reviewing History. We have 2 Christmas specials up as of Black Friday, November 29th in America. Last year's half the money's going to St. Jude. This year's, we're unsure what it's going to be or what form it's going to be, but it's going to exist. It's going to be there. It's going to be 2 podcasts, one of games and fun, and then the other one is going to be us breaking down a Christmas classic movie. And
Love
also
it.
check out Reviewing History, my comedy history podcast. We watch historical movies, we tell you what's real and fake in them, and we make a lot of jokes.
Absolutely.
Go and subscribe now. Go and pay for the downloads of those wonderful Christmas special episodes now.
Yes.
Before you listen to the Funbearable After Dark episode, because then your feelings might change. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Your
Quickly.
feelings might change.
Quickly, make sure you do it beforehand.
Click.
And check out our side podcast,
Yes.
Popcorn Kernels. Half the episodes go on the Funbearable feed, half of them on the Reviewing History feed. So if you want to hear all of Popcorn Kernels, where Ruppert and I talk about movies, you gotta subscribe to both. But thank you for being here, Ruppert.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and check out part 2, Funbearable After Dark, coming very soon.
And check out Brad and I's side podcast that we do together. That's called Slop Porn Journals, where we watch horrible pornography and talk about what we thought they could have done to improve them.
I'm their first guest.